It actually makes me kind of sad that we are convinced more by anecdotes and stories than by facts. And yet that's the reality. And so as a career and personal coach, I can't speak to ideals. I've got to help my clients succeed in the world as it is, pretty much. And so one of the ways that my clients have found most useful to tell a story is to tell a PAR story. PAR stands for problem, approach, result. So we'll take an example that I actually used in my book, Jeremy's Quests, Succeeding and Starting Out. This person was a typical psychology major, no great shakes, 3.0 GPA from a middling college, and had no idea what the hell he wanted to do, and decided that he liked books, he doesn't like to read books very much, and he's kind of your very average guy, but he liked the idea of working in book marketing and book promotion, book publicity. So he also didn't have a huge network. So that's the problem, okay, in the PAR story problem. The approach he took was to write really nice, he wasn't a genius, so he wasn't going to write some brilliant application, but he did things like the following. He took quotes from people that relate to book marketing, and he actually put that right up at the top of his resume. He wrote, "Writing a book without promoting it is like waving to someone in a dark room. You know what you've done, but no one else does." And it didn't work miraculously, but it eventually got him, it was key to him getting a job as an assistant book publicist. So that was his approach, using the quote, and the result is that he got a job as an assistant, as a book publicist. Problem, he was your average guy. Approach, he found these cool quotes that he put attached to the top of his resume. The result, he did get a good launchpad job. That's a PAR story. I'll give you one more. For example, I had a client who expressed interest in nothing except singing, and she knew she couldn't make a living as a singer. She wasn't that good. But what I did was I gave her hope. We actually drove to a theater and I said, "You're going to perform on this stage." I didn't really fully believe it, but I knew they cast lots of people. And in the end, she did get cast in the chorus, and that gave her the confidence to look for a straight job, and she now works at a hospital in the fundraising department. And it was that unconventional approach. So her problem was she wasn't particularly interested in anything. The approach was I leveraged the one thing she cared about, which was singing, drove her up to the theater. The positive result is that motivated her to give some confidence and get a straight job. And as a hobby, she does perform in choruses and even larger roles. In any case, PAR, problem, approach, result. No matter what you're doing, whether you're looking for a job or making conversation at a party, or you're making conversation on a date, or you're trying to convince somebody of doing something, a PAR story, problem, approach, result, can be among the more potent techniques that you can use to get your points across. Anyway, that's one of the tips from my book, Jeremy's Quests, Succeeding and Starting Out. I have written fat books, but I really have come to believe after 6,000 clients, much better to be thin, be practical, and make it entertaining. So I've told all my best career and life ideas in the context of a story of a young man starting out, and I even had it illustrated by a wonderful illustrator named Siddhartha Malik, so that it's even more comfy. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And even more flattered, I guess, if you buy my book, Jeremy's Quest. It's available on Amazon. In any event, I'm Marty Nemko. Thanks for watching.